G'day fellow modelers, Mr. Handy back with a handy review for you. Today we're going to take a peek at Reid Air Publication's Modern Super Hornet Guide 2nd edition. So this was published last year. This is an updated version, of course, of their original. I'm not too sure when that one came out because I'm not a huge fan of the Super Hornet. Or wasn't, and now I'm starting to get into it a little more. I like the Legacies more than the Super Hornet, but I decided to pick this up because I'm working on Academy's 1/72nd scale, and I needed some reference material for the wings, dropping the flaps in the back, and I need some good pictures. So the internet wasn't giving us a whole heck of a lot. Anyways, let's take a peek. For those that might not know, Reid Air Publications does probably some of the best reference material on aircraft. They've got a fairly small library on aircraft, but very detailed and great photos. The only problem the only suggestion that I would have for them is to have some scale plans. That would be the only thing. Everything else is great. It would just be nice to have some scale technical drawings just to take a look. But as we see in our index here, we've got an introduction, then carrier operations. Over here we start off, and in all of their publications, these are all pretty much the same. It all goes through the different parts of the fuselage, or the different parts of the aircraft. So you got your forward fuselage, fuselage top, cockpit, fuselage top again, wings, vertical stabilizers, horizontal, aft fuselage, fuselage bottom, landing gear, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff on the Super Hornet War and multiple pictures of different weapons and pods attached to the Super Hornet. So of course this is your introduction. Some great pictures of the Super Hornet in action. Some great deck pictures too. And storage. And then we start getting into the bits and pieces of this aircraft. So as you can see in the side panel here, back over here we had the introduction. Now we're getting into carrier operations, and just with regards to the index, it just basically goes through the index, and like other books it tells you on the side here, which is a little bit easier to navigate. There's some absolutely fabulous pictures in here, and this is the great thing about these Reid publications, is that there's so much detail that you can take from these books. These are definitely made for the modeler, and it's unfortunate that their library is kind of small. I get that it's a niche market, but it's too bad that they don't do more of these, because these are absolutely fabulous. Like, you get the whole interior of the cockpit, but not only that, they actually put it into variants as well. So you get the F-18E and F, but they also show the EA-18 Growler in here as well. So, and I mean, like I said, these are absolutely fabulous. Especially if you're doing scratch building, and the paint details, all these little things that you don't see, right? Or you could pop out on your models just to give it that extra interest. This is my favorite here a little bit. You see the pop-out handles here. There is also a section here where you, right here is these I believe it's an air exhaust. It's a venting area for bleed air coming in. And there you have them again. And then the detail of these pieces in the back here for the exhaust, absolutely fabulous. I mean, this here specifically, if you didn't know anything about the Hornet, you wouldn't know that, you know, these are all these holes are in here, right? So on the most of the models, it doesn't come like that. So, and then we get into wing folds, and here's my part that was just a godsend, is how the flap mechanism actually works. So it's a really interesting type of system, because apparently this piece here kind of slides out a little bit and downwards, but it doesn't go all the way down because it intersects this bottom piece. So it's definitely something that I needed to see. And again, here's this great pictures of the wing folds talking about the slime lights. And apparently there's another, so you've got this slime light here, but you've also got this infrared piece underneath, so that they can use them for positioning when they're in lights out mode. Some nice pictures of the engines, and then we get into the engine and the engine bays. Such great detail. Great inside detail for the burners. You can actually see here, so for when you're going and painting up your burners, nice and accurate. Rester hook. Get into the gun. And then the bay for the gun. And then we get into the landing gear. And all the bits of the landing gear. And this, like I said, absolutely fabulous. So for all the things that I have actually gone through with regards to reference material, there's two companies that tend to stand out the most. And that is Reid Publishing, Reid Publications, and and DACO. Their references are absolutely amazing. They give you a full coverage on the full aircraft. And that's the, those, of course, I mean, they are kind of, DACO books can get expensive, but they're definitely worth it. Of course, in the back of those, they have the scale plans, which is nice. So you have Reid Publications, which does an amazing job at detailing everything as well. And the only thing that they don't add is the scale drawings, like I said at the beginning there. That to me is the only thing that this is actually missing. These are fairly reasonably priced. I believe they're about $39. So I think I got this one. I got this one from Sprue Brothers. It was 40 something Canadian. Again, just wonderful detail on the weapons. I'm sorry, the detail stuff on the weapons, and just getting to see the weapons up close is such a treat to see, you know. But as I was saying, for number one place, and we get into the different squadrons colors. But like I was saying, the first place for reference material, in my opinion, comes down to DACO and Reid Publications. That's mostly for modern aircraft, modern American aircraft. If we were to look at World War II, I'm thinking that Valiant Wings is probably number one. And then at the end is detail and scale. So as you can see here, there's some of the stuff that is in print. You've got your Modern Viper guide. This is a second edition. I have the first edition of that one. A10 Warthog, this is a second edition as well. This, or a reprint. No, this is a second edition. Modern Eagle is a second edition. The Hornet is a first edition. And then there was their newer EA6B, which was out, I believe, 2 years ago, I think. 2 or 3 years ago. So, yeah. Anyways, that's what you get in your Reid Publications book. As I was mumbling through the whole thing, if I were to rate Reid Publications is a close first with DACO. I would give DACO the win just because DACO includes scale drawings, which is basically, if you're a modeler, in my opinion, if you're a modeler and you want to put detail in, having the scale drawings just gives you that extra plus, as well as the full interior details or full detail of the airframe. That gives it the DACO the win for that one, unfortunately. Reid Publications is a very, very, very close second. Like, they're almost neck and neck. If they had the scale drawings in this, I would go with Reid Publications just because of the expense. DACO has only done a few books. It looks like they've done a lot, but they're very hard to find, unfortunately. And then for modern aircraft, the runner-up would be Detail and Scale. So those would be the three publishers that I would be looking for. If you're looking at World War II, it would be Valiant Wings as a number one, and then Detail and Scale and Aero Detail books as a close second. So, anyways, like I said, this is on their site, Reid Air Publications. I will put that in the description. You can also get these from Sprue Brothers, who actually, I believe that they distribute them as well, I think. But you certainly can get every one of their copies on their site. I believe Hanant had some, but your best bet is either directly through their website or through Sprue Brothers. I ordered most of my stuff directly through Reid Air Publications site. I was lucky enough to get the very last copy of the F4 book a few years ago, so kind of privileged that I got that. But again, I can't recommend this more. This is the best book on the Super Hornet. And as I said, if you're looking for the other ones, definitely take a peek at their other publications. They're the only ones that do a publication like this on the A10. And I think that their EA6B is probably the best as well. I know that they had been talking about doing a Harrier one at one point, and it was only going to be the Plus, the AVA B, and higher. So I was a little disappointed with that, but I've not seen that yet. It doesn't look like it's come out. So hopefully Jake decides to go along with that, and it comes out at some point in time. Anyways, that's my review. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you liking and subscribing to the site. Of course, liking and subscribing will push these videos out a little more, and of course, it gives you the indication that there's new content as well. Other than that, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Let me know if there's other things that you're looking at or would like to have reviewed. But other than that, have a wonderful day and happy modeling. Take care. Good day, fellow modelers. Mr. Handy back with another handy review for you. just got this. This came fresh from the UK. Got it a day ago. Blackbird models OP2E Neptune conversion. Of course, the OP2 was used in Vietnam. It was an upgrade on the Neptune. It was used for dropping above surface sonar buoys. So for listening on the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which is some interesting information. This is a reissue of their original. They were all sold out. And of course, if you go to their site and you put your email in, they will let you know when they come back into stock. So I spoke with, I can't remember his name at Blackbird. Unfortunately, he told me they would be coming out soon. So of course I did, and lucky enough to snag one. The unfortunate thing is they are now all sold out. So they come quick and they leave quick. Anyways, this is what you get in your package, in your box. Here, of course, is the instructions. Of course, here we have our full layout of all the different parts. And then we have the list. It tells you what kit to use. Of course, the kit, of course, being the Neptune, the P2V Neptune by Hasegawa in 72nd scale. And then we go through all the different pieces that you need to be removed and added with plenty of information on what exactly you need to do in each one of those sequences. Here again, just the additions that you have to add to the kit. Of course, this is your pylons for these cool listening devices that were dropped. They give you a little bit of a description here. It doesn't really tell you a whole bunch of information, but if you go into the gunship book by Squadron Signal, they do give a good write-up on the use of this Neptune during Vietnam and exactly what they use for. It's actually, I noticed down here that they in the references, there's a gunship by Squadron Signal. So other references, of course, the P2V in action, Neptune Warpaint, and then the gunships. So sadly, no decals come with this, but it does tell you that there are decals that you can pick up from Caracal Decals, and they give you their website. So let's see what's in the bag for hardware. Of course, you have your photo etch. So the photo etch here, of course, is for the sonobuoys or listening devices. And then there's a couple other pieces. Again, these tend to have there's a little bit of tape on the back, which is nice, so that they don't go everywhere. And here's your resin pieces. Let me get my X-Acto out. I'll take a peek at what's in there. So, as you can see, here's your main conversion piece. This is your that's your main front cockpit. As you can see, you're going to have to clean out some of the flash. There is some pretty hefty flash in some of the areas, but it's a very solid piece. There's not a lot of panel detailing on here, as you might notice. There's only a couple of things that are added on the side. Of course, depending on what you're going to do with your kit, when I do decide to put this on, I'm going to be rescribing everything. So, yeah, it'll be doing some rescribing on this. Hopefully it'll work out. It's fairly thick resin, and it's cast actually very nice. It's just got a bit of a texture to it. but the detail that is there is pretty crisp. So here's your tailpiece or replacement tail area. Again, there's no details, no surface detail really, with regards to the airframe bits and pieces. You have your stuff back here. I believe that this is just an attachment for the the torpedo bay, I believe, on the Neptune that they closed up. And then we get into our other bits here. There's your, this is not vacuum formed. This is an actual clear resin piece. Might be a good idea to vacuum form it. But I mean, it's not too bad. It's not the most clearest thing in the world, but it is definitely usable. And as you can see on it, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there is certainly the guides on there for your framing. Pylons, again, we'll go in a little bit closer for some of this stuff. So again, no real detail on the pylons, but it's up to you. Here's your ejector racks, again, for the, I'm not quite sure what the actual name was of these Sonobuoy type things. Like I said, it's in the gunship book, but there's your, there they are. I mean, that's the size of them. And you get 2 batches of them. I believe these are your minigun pods, hence the reason they were stuck into or put into the gunship book. They did carry some weaponry. There are some warrior bits. There's your nose. Again, your ejector racks. These appear to be, oh my gosh, these are what look like M60s. Now, I had heard or read about OP2s having M60s hanging out of one of the window ports. I believe it was towards the rear of the aircraft, so I'm assuming that these are for that. Interesting. And then again, our last piece is just more weapon racks, some more pylons. So nice and sturdy. All the resin is cast fairly well. Definitely a nice thing to see, because trying to replicate one of these aircraft without the conversion would be a pain in the butt. I believe that there is a vacuum form conversion set out there. I know that there was one for the AP2, which they've also, Blackbird has also released as well. I did a review on that a little while ago, if you guys would remember. Yeah, there you go. There's your pieces for making the OP2 Neptune from Vietnam. Like I said, it's nice to see this. It's nice to see it released again. I had seen this on Scalemates. I believe the first one came out in early 2000s. So it was, of course, going to be very hard to find. Didn't see any on eBay. And I was lucky enough to see that Blackbirds was re-releasing some of these things. So definitely take a peek at their website. They've got plenty of wonderful things on that site, especially done by Blackbird. They do some really nice decals, and they've done some nice conversion sets too. At this point, I think they're the only ones that do the conversion set for the XB40, which is the gunship version of the B-17. So, and there's plenty of other things there. I believe that they do the Marine Reconnaissance version of the Neptune for the UK, and they give you all the conversion for that. That looks like a fairly big set. So that's it for this review. Again, thank you for your support. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Those are what get the videos around due to the algorithm that YouTube uses. As always, all the information will be in the descriptions below. Please let me know if there's anything you want to see reviewed on the site in the comments. And with that, we will sign off. Thanks again for watching, and happy modeling.